See you, chump.
Alright guys, today we're going to be ranking all the MCU characters from Z all the way down to H. That's weird. I just noticed that. Z, S, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I guess we're only going to use a few of them because that doesn't make any sense. Z though? I guess Z means good. It means better than S ranking. So, let's see here. Hulk. Definitely, I would have to put him in Z because he's one of the strongest characters. He's not the strongest, but he's one of the strongest. I like him a lot. I watched the old 2003 one, and then I watched the one with, what's his name? Edward Norton, and then I watched a few other. I watched the ones with the other guy that plays him. Right now, I've just spaced out names, but. I like Hulk. He's overpowered in a way, but I mean not too overpowered to the point where, you know, okay, we get enough like a few other characters in this list. But I don't like what they did to him and named him Smart Hulk because he looked a little bit weak after that. But anyway, I mean he's still good. I still bring him up the Z list. We're going to go a little bit fast with these because, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of them. That's Thor, looks like. And so I'm only going to be ranking the ones that are... I'm not going to rank them... I'm not going to rank the ones that are multiple. So yeah, Thor, Z list, because he's one of the strongest. Again, he's not the strongest. We'll go to that one again. But Thor is one of my favorite characters. I like the guy that plays Thor. Again, I'm spacing out the names, but it doesn't matter because we're actually ranking the characters, not the actual actors themselves. But I always look forward to like the Thor movies, except for Thor: Dark World. That was an okay movie, but it wasn't one of my favorites. I would say Thor: Ragnarok is my favorite. Thor: Love and Thunder was too. People say it was bad, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll give it a chance. So I watched it, didn't really care for it. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but the whole entire time I was just on my phone. It's just one of those movies. But I rank him in Z. Female Loki, I try to remember her name in the actual show because I did watch Loki. I put her in A tier. I like her. She was cool. But I mean, it was just a TV show, so I mean, not a TV show, but it was a show on Disney Plus. So I can't rank her any higher or lower. Actually, you know what? I rank her in B. I drop her down one because she didn't show much. She showed like she was just a sidekick of Loki. But Loki would go higher later on. That's Sam Raimi's Venom. I would say probably in F tier. It was an okay. But Sam Raimi didn't know exactly what the hell to do with Venom, and I knew that because I read some things about it. But yeah, I would say F ranking. I wouldn't say G or H. He wasn't that bad, but I would say F ranking on that one. Her A tier. She's the daughter of Thanos. I mean, well, not really the daughter. But she was adopted by Thanos, and she's again I'm spacing on the name for these guys because I haven't watched them so long. But I know that she was a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and she deserves to be an A because she turns a new leaf. That's too bad they actually killed her off, but they made a new version of her that doesn't know anything about the Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy or anything. So she's kind of new. She's like a reincarnated version of herself, basically. But yeah, I put her in A. Yondu, see, I know him. That's weird. Yondu, I'd put in C. He was a good guy. Well, in the beginning, he was the father of. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and he went out with a bang, and I would say he's the guy that plays him is kind of famous. He played in Walking Dead and stuff like that. He's a good actor. So I put him in C. He deserves to be in C. Vision is powered. I mean, really powered by stone. I say B tier, like female Loki, because even though he's really powerful, I just didn't like him. I didn't like him as a character. I liked him a little bit in WandaVision, or the guy who plays him. He's not really in WandaVision, but the majority of time he's played by another, well, the actor who plays him. But I had to put him in B tier. I can't put him any higher or lower. And I know he's really powerful, but still, he's not one of my favorite characters. It would have to be up there with Hulk and Thor as one of my favorite characters. I would say probably G tier. He's not even worth talking about. It's one of the elves. He was a bad guy. This guy was in the first first Thor movie. I would say F tier. He doesn't really show up that much. He's a bad guy. He shows up at the very end. Let's see here. This guy is in Thor: Love and Thunder. I would say probably A tier, even though Thor: Love and Thunder was bad. Well, it wasn't bad, but I remember Thor: Love and Thunder was a movie. I would say probably he was the best in the movie because he was serious, and the guy that plays him played Batman, Christian Bale. So I put him in A tier. Oh, Thanos. What am I doing? Thanos, Z tier. I mean, the guy is really powerful, overpowered basically, but I still put him in Z tier. I like the actor who plays him. He plays in some other movies I've seen, but again, we're not doing actors, but I have to point out the actor because he does some really good accolades. But he plays a really good Thor. I mean, not Thor. He plays a really good Thanos. He plays really good menacing Thanos. And I would say probably... no, actually, this is a good order. I'm not going to switch them around. Same thing with this one. Same thing with this one. I would say probably he's ahead of her. Everything else seems fine. What's his name again? Doctor Strange. I'll put him in S tier. I like the Cumberbatch guy. I'm not gonna say the act, but I like the way he does the actual character of Doctor Strange. And I had to put him in S tier. I didn't watch the new Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, but I've heard about it. And I know what happens because I looked up spoilers, so it's not like I'm like on the dark on that movie. But I had to put him in S tier. Not quite Z tier, but he's still an S tier character. I liked him in Spider-Man Far From Home. No, not Far From Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. I love that movie, by the way. If I had to rank the movies, that'd probably be in Z tier. Maybe I will rank the movies. You guys have to leave a like. This guy, I know he came back in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I put him in D side because he didn't show much. I know he died in the original Avengers, and he was the guy that was the main guy that was getting all the characters all together. He got Iron Man and everybody else before Samuel L. Jackson's character got all the characters. But D tier is good enough for him. It's not that he's a bad guy or a bad character or anything like that, but he died in the original Avengers movie. That was a long time ago. And yes, he did come back with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I never watched it, so he deserves to be in D. This guy was the bad guy in one of the Avengers, Age of Ultron. He's Ultron. He deserves to be in B. Probably ahead of female Loki. He's played by another actor with a voice, at least. James Spader. I like his voice. His very powerful voice. Again, he's powered by a. I'll explain the movie, but I'll give you the gist of it. What happens is that Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, but it's not Bruce Banner, Banner, end up creating this creature, sentient creature, and that ends up being Ultron. And then after that, yeah, he comes out of it. So yeah, it's basically the gist of it. Loki, I would say probably an S tier character. I wouldn't say is as good as the Z characters, but he's the guy that plays him is funny. And Loki himself is funny. He's not ahead of Doctor Strange, but he's actually, yeah, maybe he is actually. I'll put him ahead of Doctor Strange because he was here first, and I liked this character in Avengers. Well, I didn't really care for him in Avengers, but then he started growing on me. But yeah, he's an S tier character. There's so much about him. And he plays a new Loki show, and Loki was awesome. So that's the so if I run into more of these Iron Mans, I'm not gonna rank any of them. So he has to go above any of these guys in Z tier. That Iron Man was the first movie that I watched of the Avengers or any of the MCU movies, because that's when it first came out. It was like back in 2008. I love Robert Downey Jr.'s take on Iron Man, and Iron Man 3. I know it's a hot take, but Iron Man 3 is my favorite. So he has to be in Z tier. I would rank any of the movies in Z tier. I know it's hot take, but he's my favorite out of the Avengers. Oh, except for maybe Spider-Man. I mean, I love Spider-Man. I don't really care. I don't mind the guy that plays Spider-Man right now, but I like Tobey Maguire more as Spider-Man. But if I had to say the reboot of the Avengers, would have to be Iron Man because of Robert Downey Jr.'s take on Tony Stark. Female Thor, D tier. She doesn't deserve to be lower than D tier or higher. Come on. Natalie Portman plays female Thor in this. She's a good actress, don't get me wrong. I liked her in other movies. She also plays really good in some other Thor movies, but I don't really think that they have chemistry. I never did think they have chemistry. So I'd say probably D tier. The movie was, again, not as good as people thought, and I thought. So, I mean, she deserves to be in D tier. And I'm not going to spoil it for you because something does happen in the movie. You see this guy in Thor, and then you've seen him in, well, the different variant and the new movies. Ant-Man Quantumania. Because he's a good actor. I would say this is a good ranking right here. I would say he's a good actor, and he's a good villain. But they really haven't done much to build him up yet. So I put him in A tier. Maybe he'll go higher if he ends up being more menacing. But right now, A tier is perfect for him. He's the villain for now, and I don't know why they showed him, and like, you know how it built up for Thanos? Well, it didn't really build up for him. Is that, yeah, I put her in Elizabeth Olsen. She's I have to put her ahead of Wanda Maximoff, because she gets some points for being an even though it doesn't really show it in the actual shows or anything like that. She gets a point for being a mutant, even though it doesn't really show, like I said. It kind of does in one of the Avengers movies, the second one. But she's a good character. B tier is perfect for her, I think, and she plays a really good villain in the new, well, spoilers, she plays a good villain in the new Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, B tier is perfect for her. Maybe actually, I'll say she's ahead of her. Actually, she's A tier character. She's better than the B tier. She's not better than S tier and Z tier, I mean. I like Samuel Jackson, and I like Mr. Fury or Fury, Dr. Fury, or what's his name again? I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched any of these MCU movies, but I binge watched them like a year ago. I would say probably because he got all the Avengers together, and he's a good actor, and he was in the majority of the movies. I would say probably ahead of Thanos. Thanos is strong, and he would basically waste Theory, but I would say probably he's not as good as character as any of these guys, but he's still up there. Sorry, he's a Z character for me. This guy was in the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. E tier. Not even worth talking about. He was a bad guy in Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's Bucky, isn't it? I like Bucky. Bucky goes in the S tier for me because he's a good character. I liked that he was Captain America's best friend, and he turned rogue because they did something to his head, Hydra, and he became the Winter Soldier. I don't know why I forgot. He ended up killing Iron Man's parents and stuff like that, and he's a tragic character basically, and I can't remember. They explained more in the TV show that just came out like 2 years ago. She's probably in the C tier, but no, she's not better than Yondu. Yondu is better than her. But she shows up in the Thor movies. She played by Tessa Thompson, I think her name is. I could be wrong. There's basically not much I can really talk about her. She's basically a supporting character to Thor. She ends up becoming the ruler of Asgard because Thor steps down. That's basically it that I think of. She's a tragic character. I would say probably better than Ultron, but I like the actress that plays her. For the longest time, I didn't know the actress played her. She played in some movies, but at first she's a bad guy, and then she turns good, but she still has that arrogance about herself. But she's also a tragic character, just as tragic as her. I apologize for the names. I'm trying. This guy was helper of Thanos. I would say probably C tier. He helped Thanos for a lot of stuff. He was also powerful, but he doesn't deserve to be any higher than C tier. Shuri is in Wakanda and Wakanda Forever. I never watched Wakanda Forever, but I know what happens in Wakanda Forever. It's kind of new, so I won't spoil it for you guys. So I put it in E tier. Sorry, Shuri. No. I don't put her in E tier. I put her in C tier. She's a good enough character. She's a supporting character to Chadwick Boseman that sadly passed away at the Black Panther movies. She's his sister, T'Challa. See, I know Shuri and T'Challa, and she become. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Screw it. She becomes Black Panther in the new Wakanda Forever. I didn't watch it, but I know spoilers. I look up spoilers to movies that I don't want to watch. Simple. It's Doc Ock. His variant came. Oh no, he came back in the new Spider-Man movies. The actor who plays him is awesome. I would say probably as better than Bucky. I know he was only but I loved him in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, so he has nostalgia for me. And he also played in the new he also played in the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie. And I would say probably S ranking. Drax. I like Batista. Not as good as her, but better than him I think. Until he shows me more, I had to put Batista in A ranking, but ahead of them too. I like Drax because he doesn't know exactly how to speak. He knows how to speak, but he thinks more. Like if somebody's trying to joke with him, he will take it but differently. It's funny. You have to watch it to see, and he's in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was one of my favorite wrestlers. Back when he used to wrestle. Spider-Man, I put him in S ranking. This is Iron Spider-Man, but like again, I'm only gonna rank Tom Holland's one guy. So Tom Holland, even though he might have other different like costumes and stuff like that, or Spider-Man suits, I have to put him in better than Thor and better than Hulk for me, because Spider-Man will always hold a place in my heart, even if I don't really. I mean, I do like Tom Holland's take on Spider-Man, but I think they have to grow more on me. I didn't really, if like for instance, if Spider-Man No Way Home had just him in it, and no Tobey Maguire and what's the other guy? Shit. If they weren't in it, I'd probably rank that movie probably lower. But seeing as that they were in it, I would still have to put him in Z tier because I love Spider-Man, and he will always be my favorite superhero of Marvel. But I can't get over Iron Man in these movies because I grew up with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in the live-action ones. I love that they had him come back in the new Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness movies. I didn't watch it, but it would bring back nostalgia. I would have to put him in A tier above Wanda Maximoff because he also was an X-Men, which X-Men was really good. And I had to consider those because I think it's probably the same exact universe. So I have to put him in A. And I grew up with X-Men, so all the movies, including the TV show, cartoon TV show. Sorry to the guy, he's good, so I have to put him in B tier. But not as high as Sam Wilson. Him, E tier, but better than the Lizard guy. All right, this is Green Goblin by Osborn, not Harry Osborn. Great villain. Actually, I would say probably greater than Fury, and I know Fury's not a villain, but and greater than. I think he's greater than Thanos because the actor William Dafoe plays him awesomely. And plus, I have nostalgia for him because of Green Goblin and Iron Man. So he has to be a Z ranking. If you guys want to watch any of them, he's awesome. He's an awesome villain. This guy, he shows up a little bit, not as good as any of the other guys. No offense, but he's just there. He's the guy to look out for Thor. Him, Wong. Plays in some pretty good movies. But again, I put him in C tier. I couldn't put him any lower or higher. She deserves to be in S tier. Yes, I'm going to explain a little bit about her because she deserves to be talked about. That's Black Widow. And she deserves to be in S tier and ahead of them. And she finally had her own movie come out like a couple years ago. She was in the second Iron Man movie. I like the actress that plays her. She's hot. I think she's hot. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I like the actor Chris Pratt, but he doesn't deserve to be any higher than. He deserves to be higher than Yondu. But his character is kind of a doofus, and I don't really. He's mixed on me. But he is the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe in the new movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, maybe he'll show more. But for now, it's a C tier character for me. If it's Groot, then I have to put him in C tier also. Right next to him, because all he does is say I am Groot, and then he's young and I am Groot, but he does help a little bit. Black Panther, just because he was Chadwick Boseman, and Chadwick Boseman was a good actor. I put him in A tier, but not ahead of Wanda Maximoff. But he deserves to be in A tier. Good actor. Regular Captain America, ahead of Hulk, but not ahead of Iron Man and Spider-Man. See, I never watched. Oh, hold on. I put her in H tier. I don't like the actress. I think she's stale. I didn't watch the movie. That's how bad. And I heard the movie was shit anyway. And yeah, she deserves to be in H tier. And she's too overpowered. And I don't like any of the Marvel movies. I never watched any of the Miss Marvel ones, or in the TV show. I mean, I just don't care for the Marvels. Unless they put a better actress as her, she has to be an H. She's too stale, and she comes in at the very end and she overpowers everybody. It's just no. I'm good. Hawkeye. I didn't watch the Hawkeye series, and he's kind of underpowered, and he even said it in the movie. But because of the actor Jeremy Renner, I put him in B tier. He doesn't deserve to get any higher, but he deserves to be in this tier or lower. He doesn't deserve to be in lower either. So I mean, he's an underpowered character, but he's still cool to me. She was the bad guy in WandaVision. Well, one of them, I would say, because Wanda was actually a bad guy in that too. So, D tier. She shows up in it, but she doesn't show up that much in it. If that makes sense. Thor's mom, because I really didn't see her that much, I'd probably put her in D tier. She doesn't deserve to be in higher or lower. Because she's Thor's mom, I had to put her up a little bit. He was the bad guy in the original. Doctor Strange movie, so I had to put him in. I like the actor who plays him, but because I can't remember that much about it, and it really was about an origin story about how Doctor Strange became Doctor Strange. I'm gonna put him in D tier because I didn't watch Spider-Man Far From Home. I know Jake Gyllenhaal plays Mysterio, whatever, I don't fucking know. I would say probably B tier. Thor's dad. I have to put, because Anthony Hopkins plays him, and he plays let's see here. I'll put him in B tier. He doesn't deserve to be in higher or lower. Rocket, because he's a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I had to put him, and he's funny. This guy is good. And I've seen the trailers for the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I had to put him in S tier. Pepper Potts. I didn't really care for her at first, but she grew on me too. So I have to put her in C tier. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna rank all of the variants of Spider-Man because Tobey Maguire. I'm sorry, Iron Man. I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr., but Tobey Maguire takes the top spot, and because those bring back memories. I'm sorry, Tony Stark. I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr., but he takes the top spot. I'm sorry. He was the bad guy, Whiplash, I think his name was, and Iron Man 2. He wasn't that good, and I would say he did a really bad job trying to kill Tony Stark in the second movie, and he doesn't really do much in the third act. He makes these robot things. But I guess he's top D tier. Red Skull. Where'd Red Skull be? He was in the first Captain America. He was also in the Avengers Endgame. B tier in the third slot. No, third slot. Third slot, not second slot. Because he was a good villain, but not as good as some other people that are ahead of him. She was in Thor Ragnarok, and she was a good villain. She was overpowered again, but she needed to be that way for Thor to take over. Because she was a good villain, I would say A slot. She-Hulk, I wouldn't say she was that bad, but I would have to put an F tier. Better than Sam Raimi's take on Venom and this guy, but still, didn't really care for the TV show. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch all of it. So she had to she put an F tier, and maybe she can do more. The actress that plays her is pretty cool. I mean, it's just a convoluted show. Mantis, same. She was a good character, but she doesn't deserve to be in C tier. She deserves to be in D tier. Now, Killmonger was a really good villain in Black Panther. Not better. I don't think he was as good as her. He was better than them, so I put him in A tier also. Quicksilver, I think his name is. Because he died in the movie that he got introduced in. E tier. Now this is Harry Osborn. He was also Green Goblin, and the guy who plays in Dane Han. G tier. I like Daredevil. I didn't watch the show, but I'm still gonna rank him anyway. I like Daredevil, so I'll put him in C tier. He was a bad guy in the Avengers Age of Ultron, and he also was in Black Panther. And he's also played by Andy Serkis, which is a really good motion capture person. And he plays in Lord of the Rings, by the way. But he does Gollum. I would say probably because he was charismatic, but he didn't really do much. He was more of a supporting villain. Put him in B tier. Ooh, there we go. I didn't think this guy would be in here. Ghost Rider. I have nostalgia for Ghost Rider, the first one, and with Nicolas Cage. So I would have to put him ahead of Captain Mr. Xavier. So I apologize for not knowing some of them. A lot of these guys are here. It's the reason why is because I don't watch every single thing that comes out that has to do with Marvel. But I know a lot. If you guys want to leave a like, comment, subscribe, I really appreciate it. All you have to do is press the bell icon for more videos like these. And that's basically it. And please, I can't stress this enough, if you press the like button, it actually helps me in the algorithm. It actually helps me in the algorithm, so more people will actually watch. So please, this is gonna go for my second channel, Beyond Lynx. So please help me. I want to grow my channels, and I will have that Chucky review on Child's Play 2 review. It's taking me a little bit longer because it's hard for me to actually read and then try to put it into my own words. So I'm sorry for that, but it will come out soon. Don't know how soon, but it's going to be soon. My birthday's coming up next week. I'm turning 31, so maybe you'll get a special birthday surprise or something like that. Like maybe I'll do a live stream on my first channel or something like that. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. This has been Beyond Lynx. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.